24, do we have a 24? Nope. Let's try 9. After this step, what do we have? After we had our have statements. Reason? Okay, just a review one. Everyone all good? Questions there? All right, let me go back to finish number 2. Or start it. So go ahead, get your statements reason set up, mark your diagram any way you want to. Make sure when you're marking the angles congruent, those are the angles on the outside of the diagram, ABF, congruent to CD, EDC. Okay, this is very similar to the one we went over yesterday, which was all right angles are equal. Okay, very similar. So let's take a look and figure out what we need to do here. Again, don't start adding in things that we have never ever talked about, right, in your own method. ABC, FDE, I got straight angles, fine. ABF congruent to EDC. So how do I go from the straight angles to those congruent angles to the ones I need to prove? Basically, I have a straight angle right here. What can I do with that straight angle and this congruent angle to get to this one right here, which I'm trying to prove? That's what I'm asking for right now. I don't want you to yell it out because I'm going to ask somebody. I got to make sure everyone's on the board here. But the straight angle and the congruent angle, what can I do to get to the angle next to it? What are you looking at for here? 18, any thoughts? I can subtract them, yep. How many quantities do I need to subtract? 2. How many are written in the statements right now? Only 1. So you need to come up with another one, but like I said yesterday, it's not always going to be reflexive anymore. All right? I have these angles are equal, but what are you subtracting those congruent angles from? 11, what are we subtracting these congruent angles from? The straight angles. Everyone agree? So I need to tell you the straight angles are equal. All right? I'm going to ask the same question I did with the right angles. In my givens, in my statements and reasons, do I have straight angles existing? Yes. Do you remember the proof we did yesterday? I didn't have right angles existing, so I had to write them in. But now I don't need to write that I have straight angles. I can go right to saying what about those straight angles? 5. What can I say about those straight angles? They're equal to each other. So angle ABC congruent to angle FDE. And this is the second theorem I put up on the board, which is all straight angles are equal. Now, how many pairs of equal quantities are written in your statements right now? 2. Now you can subtract them if you'd like, which we are going to. All right, so what are you going to subtract up here? Go ahead, 7, take over. What are we subtracting? Minus? By subtraction. And then all year long, right after I subtract, I better it's a D. Are we good? You done? That's what I thought. Calm it down back there. Substitution. Why are we randomly standing? I'm sorry, I don't. You can go get some paper towels if you need it. Okay, all good? Okay, let's go on, continue our notes. We still got to do number 4. We can always do some algebra too. All right, want to keep you on your toes. We can do some algebra. Ooh, RST perpendicular to SQ. Hold on before some of you guys start drawing your horizontal and vertical lines. The directions now, fine. Does it say prove anymore? No, so I don't need to do statements, reasons anymore. Unless it says prove, no statements and reasons. Find is usually an algebra problem, which this is. All right, but you can still mark your diagram. Hey, mark your diagram with what you're given. Still do that. RSU, 89 degrees. And what other markings are you putting on your diagram? 13, what other markings? Yeah, sure. You got it. You got it. All right, it does say justify, which means a number written down won't be good enough. You got to tell me why it's that number. All right. So the measure of RSQ. What do you got for me? Measure of RSQ. 17, what's the measure of RSQ? What did we just put there? Okay. Got to justify your answer, though. Why 90? Or why did I put the right angle symbol there? Not getting off the hook that easy. I don't want to write down because there's a box there. What's that? Perpendicular lines do what? Form right angles. Now, hey, let me make this clear. I'm not going to get specific. I don't need this wording. If you wanted to say right angles equal 90 degrees, I'm fine with that too. I just need something from you guys that says, hey, I know what the heck is going on, and I just didn't read it from the guy next to me. All right, I just didn't, peer over, and I have good eyesight. That's not the reason I knew it was 90. All right, so that's not just specific to what I want. I'm very, very flexible. All right. How about the measure of QST now? Measure of QST. QST is 27. Nope. 30. What do you got for me? QST. It would also be 90. Got an explanation for me? Okay, so you could use the same reason. Right angles equal 90. Again, just something that shows me why you know it's 90. Other than I have good eyesight or I just guessed. And finally, what about the measure of angle TSU? TSU. 22. 91 degrees. All right, that's a little interesting. Correct. Why 91? RSU is 89, you mean? Okay. Okay, so I could have straight angles form 180 degrees. Yep, that's fine. I'm just going to force you guys, because I always want vocabulary. What type of angles are those? More. I need more than supplementary here. Linear pairs, and what do you know about linear pairs? What's the fact about linear pairs? What do you know about them? Are supplementary, yep. Again, that's what I just wanted to put because I just want to use some vocab with you guys, but what Dylan said was also correct with, straight lines equal 180. That's fine. I'm not going to be picky there. Okay, can you go to page 21 and look at number 4? We're going to get some homework done, so you're welcome here. I'll give you a minute, set up. Mark your diagram with those congruent segments. All right, here we go. This is why, if you don't stay on top of things, this could get pretty overwhelming quick. First, let me go on top. This is not your traditional, does everyone see this is not your traditional given proof? That's what we're using. Given this information, prove this. I wrote it differently. How many of you in science class have done hypothesis, conclusion, and if, and then? Yeah, so you guys are still used to this. This is just another way of writing given and prove. Whatever's after the if actually acts as my what? Givens. So here are your givens. What was after the if? And then after the then is your proof statement. Okay, so I just didn't want you guys to freak out. It was written a little differently. It's still statements and reasons proof. Whatever's with the if is my givens. What's after the then is my proof statement. All right, any issues there? Okay, this is a little bit of a different type of proof than we've been used to. And here's why. Anybody see a key vocabulary word in your givens? Yeah, midpoint. And I don't want to say brainwash, but you guys are in the habit right now of saying, oh, I see that word. It's got to be halves of equal quantities. Let's roll. But it's not halves of equal quantities here. Okay, even though you see midpoint. Let's discuss this, how I know it would be halves of equal quantities and maybe not halves of equal quantities. When you use halves of equal quantities, how many things do you take? How many angles or segments do you take half of? How many? How many? You take half of two things, 2 angles or 2 segments. Everyone agrees? Because we always write 2 half statements up there. How many segments am I taking half of here? Only 1. So it can't be halves of equal quantities if I'm only taking half of one of them. Everyone see that? But you're still going to use that. What other way could I use that C as the midpoint of BD? What else could I mark on my diagram if I can't use that it's half of something? What else could you mark on your diagram? 21, what else could I mark up here? By definition of a midpoint. And now, you guys are going to finish this later on, but I think it's pretty easy right now to show why now AC is equal to CE now. Okay, now you have all that. Okay, so halves of equal quantities, you have to take halves of how many? 2 different things, all right? 2 midpoints, 2 bisectors, not just one. All right, do you have your assignment sheets on you? Can you get those out for me? Because I'm going to change the game up a little bit. I think you'll be in favor of this change. Okay, my plan today was to throw more angle theorems down your throat and say, here's all the homework, let's finish it. Not a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea at all. I don't think it's a good idea. I think we need to take a breather right now and focus on these two and a couple review proofs today. All right, that's what I'm going with. So the only thing I am assigning tonight, which you are going to start right now, actually, I'm going to give you plenty of time to start it, is packet page 20 to 23. Okay, I'll assign 27 through 28 on Monday. I mean on Tuesday when we come to school. Okay, so tonight you're just responsible for 20 to 23 only. All right, which means the following. I'm going to give you a heads up. I know some of you like to plan ahead, far ahead. I was originally going to give the unit test for this unit next Friday. But now that I'm extending everything a day, it's going to be a Monday after. Okay, and being in an honors class, I have no problem assigning a test on any day of the week. So, yes. 27 to 28 is still doing Tuesday, right? No. I'm going to assign that on. That's going to be Tuesday night's homework. So I'm pushing everything back a day. Okay. And also, it's probably a good idea we don't have the test next Friday because the periods will be shortened because school ends an hour early for the pep rally next week. So you guys wouldn't have a full 43 minutes to take it anyway. So it's probably a good idea that I push it to Monday. Okay. Questions there? Comments? Anything? Okay. So I'm unfortunately sorry. I'm not going to allow you to move around. All right. It didn't work well last period. All right. I had one group in 10 minutes get one given written down, and that's not what I need. All right, so you can work with the person next to you if you feel comfortable, that's fine. But work by yourself then if you don't want to do that. Okay, so if you want, raise your hand. Did I do this proof correctly? Raise your hand. I don't know what to put in the reasons. Raise your hand. I'm stuck. All right, let's get going. All right, it's all your homework is on everything I have up here on the board.